This is what you're defending.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's get into this video. Like seriously lovelies, why is it that these people, these pan-colored people, often get very angry when they see a black person succeeding, or when they see a black person in a place they feel that he or she is not supposed to be in a certain position? Guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where this man was saying, blabbing on how guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section. Of course, by the end of the video, I'll be leaving my own thoughts. Alright lovelies, let's get into the video.
Just customer service, at times you can't. Here's what's upsetting to me, Heather, is if I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily wholesome. It creates resentment, doesn't it, Heather? This is not a way to design society.
Does anybody else find it so rich with Charlie Kirk here, sitting here talking about a black woman benefiting from affirmative action? Is a thought running through his mind when he's on customer service, sitting next to a white woman? Does anybody find that rich except me? Why can't these bigots just come out and say they're racist? Because obviously intelligence is not their strong suit. You're literally sitting there talking to a white woman about black women benefiting most from affirmative action, when it is white women literally who benefit the most from affirmative action. This is not even an extensive Google search to find out that although people associate affirmative action with the efforts to end discrimination for people of color, scholars say the greatest beneficiaries of affirmative action policies are white women, from college campuses to the American workplace. White women today are more educated and make up a larger slice of the workforce as a result of decades of affirmative action policies, scholars say. White women have also made inroads into corporate leadership that people of color and women of color have not. And allow me to say this going forward, because I'm always asking you all to pick a struggle. The issue is you all cannot pick a struggle. From now on, when you introduce yourselves, I want you to say, I'm a racist, and because of my inbred genetic makeup, I am also incapable of research. Therefore, I am intentionally stupid.
How white women have benefited the most from affirmative action is pretty easy to look up, and since this question is coming from a nameless, faceless profile, I'm not sure that it's being asked in good faith. If it's being asked in good faith, I'm about to give the answer. If it's being asked in bad faith, maybe in the future ask yourself whether I'm really the person that you want answering this kind of question. So affirmative action was originally meant to address racial disparities only. It did not include gender. But in the late 1960s, the government correctly recognized that women had faced a great deal of disparity and obstacles and should be included in affirmative action. So keeping in mind that the only demographic that was not previously included in affirmative action that became included with that change is white women. And affirmative action was so effective for white women that by 1980, white women were no longer underrepresented in higher education. And by 1995, there were 6 million women, the vast majority of whom were white, who held jobs that they would not have held were it not for affirmative action. And this is all great. These are wonderful outcomes, and it shows how affirmative action should work for its intended beneficiaries. However, black students are still underrepresented in higher education, and black men and women are still underrepresented in the workforce. And although there is still a gender pay gap, white women's average weekly earnings is more than that of black men or black women. And white men continue to benefit from affirmative action, particularly in the federal job sector. However, Despite the fact that white women have been the greatest beneficiaries of affirmative action, 70% of them oppose affirmative action. So there also goes the idea that white women do not vote against their interests.
For years, conservatives have been against race-based affirmative action. In the summer, they got their wish when the Supreme Court overturned race-based affirmative action in enrollment in schools of higher learning. But in reality, white women have benefited most from affirmative action programs in employment, in education, in government contracting. I wonder if conservatives will, with the same type of drive they had to overturn race-based affirmative action, will they use that energy to overturn gender-based affirmative action?
So to the black conservatives who've been in my DMs and making videos about me because you feel the need to convince me that Charlie Kirk isn't a racist, you're defending this, right? This is what you're defending. The guy isn't even trying to hide his racism. Every time he uses someone as an example to prove his disdain for DEI or affirmative action, he always uses a black person. This time it's a black pilot or a moronic black woman. Soon it'll be his idiotic, moronic, dumbass black conservative friend. Yeah, you. And again, DEI does not mean less qualified. You could damn sure believe that if a black person is holding down one of these jobs you guys love to bring up, they're probably more qualified and working harder than anyone there because they always have to prove that they're worthy of that job. You guys will sell out for a freaking penny. But the rest of us, we're not falling for this bullshit. Period.
I'm sure by now we've all heard that the U.S. Supreme Court struck down affirmative action. There have been many people talking about this and what's going to come of it and how things are going to change and so on and so forth. And I'm also interested in that. But something that many people have spoken about on TikTok and on Twitter is that the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action are not people of color. They're actually white women. And I wanted to go into a little bit why this is the case for those of us that aren't as familiar with affirmative action. So the point of affirmative action legally was to increase representation for historically underrepresented groups in academia. So this was people of color, this was international students, this was women, this is queer people, although less so queer people at the time. But these are all people who have been historically underrepresented in the academy. Most universities, as a result of this, were like, what is a group that is historically underrepresented but will help me not include black and brown people? White women. So many universities, by increasing the number of white women that they admitted into their university, were satisfying the requirements of affirmative action without actually having to increase the number of people of color that attend their university. Today's decision was about striking down race-based affirmative action. But a quick aside, race-based affirmative action was actually deemed unconstitutional in 1978 and again in 2003 with two different Supreme Court cases, but I'll make a different video talking about both of those cases. But regardless of those two Supreme Court cases, today's decision was about striking down race-based affirmative action, which functionally, because in the United States many people believe that affirmative action is just about race, ends affirmative action. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens as the repercussions of this decision start to leak down and we start to see that it's actually not people of color who are being affected the most by this, it's white people. But if that's not America, honey, I don't know what is.
This is why reading is important. Because whenever I see white people, especially white women, that are against affirmative action, I'm like, y'all not even paying attention. It's for you. Y'all have been the ones benefiting the most. Just biting the hand that feeds you. And that makes sense, right? Right? Comment below with why you think these Beckys, these crazy Karens, have decided to ruin the very thing that is helping them out. Because I'm curious. Anyway, excellence is exhausting, so support black mediocrity by following me.
A moronic black woman. This is what Charlie Kirk calls a black woman immoral, like, all because he felt that this black woman does not, does not deserve to be a customer service. He felt that she did not deserve her position. She was meant not to be there. Maybe she probably got to that position all because of affirmative action. Meanwhile, he is forgetting that affirmative action actually favored white women the most. Like, seriously, what is wrong with these conservatives? He was the same person that said that black pilots are not qualified, like that he cannot board a plane that is flown by a black pilot because he feels that they are not qualified. So he's measuring qualification with the color of someone's skin. The worst part is that he keep on spewing these narratives and all of that on all of our social medias and internet, and nobody is actually saying anything about it. People are just being relaxed about it. Why is it that these conservatives, whenever they see that maybe people of color are trying to level up, they're trying to build something for themselves, or maybe create a small wealth for themselves, or try to like meet up, try to level up a little bit, they become so angry, they become so threatening. Like, if we should give these people a little chance, they might come up here and take over us. They might come over here and snatch what we actually snatched from them years back. Why are they always scared? Why are they always being intimidated when they see a black success, or when they see that people of color are trying to level up, they're trying to work hard, read hard, become educated, get themselves in some kind of positions? They become so frightened, they become so mean. And that's when they keep on bringing this narration that people of color are not qualified in some certain field. That was why he was able to say that people of color is not qualified to be a pilot, to be in the administrative works, or to be in a place where he feel that they are not supposed to be there. These kind of positions are not meant for people of color. These kind of positions are meant for our own type of people, that it's meant for pan-colored people. So they get so angry when they see people of color. Like, you're calling a black woman a moron, or because you feel that she's not entitled, she's not qualified to be in that position, and you're getting angry, or because you also felt that she is in this said position because of affirmative action, without realizing that affirmative action actually favored conservative women, like white women, the most. Why is it so? Why is it that if anything that have to do with people of color, that is not done right, but when it has to do with palm colored, it is so perfect? Like, people of color they don't have the capacity to do things right. So that's why we want to make them remain in a certain position where they are meant to be. So allowing these people to come up would jeopardize our own progress. Allowing them to actually be whom they are, it's gonna take away so many things from us. They keep on proving everybody right. Why some people will keep on writing and saying, oh my goodness, that's nothing like privilege. Oh my goodness, privilege and race and cis and all of that does not exist. This is what happened in the past. This is what happened during the our forefathers. But look at it today. This thing exists. It's just that it has come in another form. Why would you call someone that is actually doing her job diligently a moron, or because you feel that this person have a certain color, so this person will not be able to pull this job through because of the color of her skin. So someone's color now can now define the ability of this person's work. So qualification is no longer a base of capability, right? It's someone's color. This was the same thing he said in times of pilot. And what even got me more angry is when Owen was supporting his claim. Owen went ahead to support him and said that she could not even feel comfortable when a woman flies a plane. She won't feel comfortable. Like, what the heck with like, I was thinking that qualification is based on someone's intellectual, not someone's skin color or someone's gender. How did we all get here? How did we all now define someone according to your color, your gender, and what have you? And the other white woman was just there laughing at what he's saying, like trying to agree, or she's even agreeing to what he's saying. So now he's blaming affirmative action for giving this black, whatever he called her, the privilege to be in the administrative work. Like, seriously, without realizing that this person actually walked her ass through the position she find herself. She didn't go there on a bed of roses. She walked herself through that process. Like, this man don't even know that there are intelligent and intellectual black women all over. Like, seriously, he don't know. Like, affirmative action was the reason why she's there. Like, he blames affirmative action for giving her the opportunity. Meanwhile, affirmative action never favored. It favored people of color. Though affirmative action gave room for to drop away all this race thing and all of that, but in turns it also favored white people the most, especially the white women. And now he's here spewing all this. He's spewing what he don't even he don't have an idea of it, and he's just there yabbing, trying to, like, oh my god, if not for affirmative action, I know she wouldn't be there. What are you talking about? And affirmative action have been struck down. So what else do you want from people of color? A lot of people think that this affirmative action of a thing, this admission of a thing, it's all about, it's favored black people the more. Like, even Asian people were like thinking that, okay, if not because of affirmative action, black people will not be in these Ivy schools and all of that. And now the affirmative action have been struck down, and they are still crying. Like, what the heck do people of color have ever done to you guys? These people have been oppressed right from 500 years ago. They're still oppressed even till date, and somebody will come and tell me that there is nothing like that. It does not exist. It has existed in the past. That was our forefathers. Our forefathers are those people that still bear these generations, and they're still repeating what the forefathers did, even if it's not that extreme like before. But it's still in the system. That is what the system is built upon. Like, seriously, lovelies. When I saw this video, I was like, wow, okay. And then I decided to, try to build up some stitches to tell this guy that affirmative action actually favored white women the most. So he should just cease all this is blah, 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 and all of that. Anyways, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any bullying, harassment, or say we're just here for educational, informative purposes, guys. So please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload my next one.